It came! I've been waiting forever for this package. And it did come. It arrived. I've already looked through it, but I couldn't help but want to share it with some of my friends because I know you guys might think, some of my friends might think this is kind of fun. So I have some friends in other faraway places, and one of them has sent me this wonderful care package, this beautiful package, a vintage ephemera. He has saved it for me and gifted it to me. It's taken since January 13th to get here. It's just now gotten here. Almost, what is that, January, February, March, April, May, 4 months later, but it made it. So, actually today, yeah, by the time I get this out there, it'll be close too. Okay, so I'll just show you some of the things. This was one. I really think this is really cool looking. It's 1935, the Royal Primrose Atlas of the British Empire. And it is falling apart. Pretty much everything that I've received is falling apart, which is wonderful because now I get to have fun preserving it and cutting it up and playing with it, and I don't feel bad. Oh, there's the phone ringing. So, anyway, the covers were kind of neat because in the inside covers, it actually gives you like the population and a lot of different, geographical things there. I love that first page there with all of the 6 reigning kings. And then Queen Victoria is ending there. And inside, it's just got the maps of the British Empire. And so very nice, very nice. It's in nice condition other than the covers falling apart. But I think I'm just going to use it. I think that's going to be great. It was by Knight's Castle Soap. So it was a promotional thing. So that's kind of good. I'm having to stand up to do this time. And typically I don't stand up. So I am going to end up starting to sound like I'm out of breath, which will just encourage me to move a little bit faster. I can't typically stand up for long periods of time, or I'll be on the floor. So these were really exciting. A while back, I'd gotten 4 books of the Punch from Hazel. She had shared them on one of her, haul videos, and she said, I think I'm going to sell these. And I sent her an email immediately because I recognized them, and I said, I would like those. And she was so wonderful to help me, to let me get them all 4, and so that was just fantastic. I only had enough money to get 2 of them at that moment, and she's like, that's okay, I'll hang on to them. So I did manage to get all 4, but he sent me a little stack of pages. Those are in such good condition that I really don't want to cut them up, and so now I've just looked through them. They're kind of something that's fun to pull out and just have a look. But my friend has sent me a whole stack of pages ripped out of them. So how fabulous is that? Some humble pie. Do you need some? Anyway, these are from 1916. I want to check to see if one of the ones I have is that date, but I don't think so. I think mine are a little bit younger than that. I think those are older, but I don't remember. This was a letter. It looks like it came from Buckingham Palace. It looks like somebody had requested a donation for their fundraiser, and they were politely declined. But it's still a neat letter. And 1990, I mean, that's still typed or something. Let me look here. I'll tell you. It might have been copied, but it was typed at one point. I don't see it's flat there. But then, I don't know, because it has, 1990, I don't know, we were still doing a lot of typing, so it's quite possible, but it's from the secretary, so that's kind of fun to have that. And then this was a newspaper cutout from a theatrical performance at the Lincoln Amateurs at the Theatre Royal. Blossom Time. It's 1939, February 21st. The back has cool cool articles and things on it too. Well, I guess it does have a cool picture. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to read. We have read through some of these, but not everything. I only wanted to open them once, and because they're shedding. You know, they're very delicate, and so I wanted to get them out once. And the next time I really handle them, the newspapers is going to be when I'm working on them. This was a magazine, The Digger. It came out in 1940. This is an ad for a bicycle. I don't know if it had a cover or if that's its cover. I couldn't really tell you. But we do have a nice, you know, picture there of Winston Churchill, so that's nice. And you've got just some different little articles, the sports, you know, the gala for the Sports Association, and some neat pictures of the time. So something kind of local, something, you know, that there's cricket and, you know, some of the children there playing and winning. And so there you go. Oh, yeah, there's the key to the photograph there. It tells you who those people are. Anyway, it's kind of neat. It's a neat album. I love it. There's a little baby in the pram. And the wartime. So you're going to get some of that in there. The ambulance report. I think this is really cool. I think that's going to be fun to use. Okay, and then here was a Stone's beer, William Stone's beers, and it is for the Grimsby League for football. I can't see that. It's not very, my camera is not very clear, really. But anyway, that's kind of neat. It's a nice card. That's, you know, it's something you would put in your wallet for your favorite sports teams. There are a few. Let's see. Let's put these postcards over here. Okay. There were 2 circus items, which I absolutely love. Look at this card. It's not been used, so it's completely blank. Look at this. Look at the clown. His little mouth opens. Do you see him? So over here, it's got the seal. A very happy birthday. Look how cool that card is. Oh my. So I'm going to put that in my circus. I know some other girls have been, there's chatter that circus journals are coming to town. And I think we need to work on them together. I think we need to do a hashtag for it. And I think we need to encourage each other and share and swap extra bits and pieces we might have. And, you know, get a circle of circus. A 3-ring circle of circus circles. You know what I'm saying. This is a hat. So it's flat, but it would be a hat. And so that's great. I can cut that in half and have 2 hats, you know, 2 pages there. That's a neat image. I love that. I've never seen anything like that, so I really love that. Oh, I'll put that back in there. Okay. And then there's postcards. So there was this one. It is the, I'm not going to be able to read that. Sark Bridge, Gretna Green. It is the link between Scotland and England. So that's cool. There's Scotland. There's England. There's the bridge. It almost looks like, I have heard that maybe they do weddings there. And so it almost looks like these little characters could be having a wedding. You've got a couple, and then this man here in the middle looks like he's reading a book, and he also has a hat, and then over here maybe the witness or something. But, you know, and then there's this one from Buckingham Palace in London. Oops. Oh, shady on me. My lights are not. There you go. So it's very pretty. And it's got some information. It's from, looks like '08. Okay, and then there was some, like, car. Look at how cool these postcards are. There's that one. And then there's that one. They're all vintage. They're not vintage postcards. Well, they're printed 1995. But, so they are vintage, but they're of vintage cars. So how cool are these? So I'm definitely going to be using these because we are you know, an old muscle car family. I've got 3 Camaros at my property. One runs, the other 2 are parts, but if you know, you know. There you go. These are really cool. I like them. These will be great cards to put in my projects. Look at the little Austin Mini. Hydrolastic suspension. Cadillac. There's another Chrysler. Very Art Deco. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Then this was fun. Dickie Henderson and Joan Reagan. They're at Floral Hall in Scarsboro. I love that. So this would have been like, you know, an advanced booking form. The star of this show, 1964, they have a full theater orchestra. And then there's the theater. Isn't that fun? So I really love that. That's neat. I do have some theater stuff I'm working on. So yeah. Then here is, look at how it's a lined envelope. And it is also a correspondence. It says, Dear Miss Warren, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, has asked me to write and thank you for your good wishes on the occasion of Her Majesty's 80th birthday. I am to tell you how touched the Queen Mother is by your kind thought and how much she appreciates your message. And then it's got, yeah, you can. You are sincerely Elizabeth Bassett, Lady in Waiting. So that's kind of neat. So, let's see. I can't tell a year on there. I can't, there's just a 28, but I know that's not it. So I don't know what year that is, but it's the 80th birthday, so I suppose it wouldn't be too hard to figure out. I should have looked first. This is also neat. Zsa Zsa, a souvenir. This is Miss Lewis Waller, and it's almost like her headshots. Like you could order these photographs. But it is a book, so you would buy this, and it's just photographs of this, almost like headshots of this actress. This is her in the dining room, and they're, you know, they're on there. They're not printed on there. It's a separate picture, you know, put on there. But it is a copy. It's not like a photograph. They were clearly photographs, and then there were copies. This is the nursery. And she'd be easy enough to look up. This is her going for a walk. This little wheelbarrow. And here is Act 4, or Act 5, sorry. Act 5. I bet that is her costume in that production during that act, because they also show that again. So this is in the country going for a ride. That's a beautiful horse, huh? And then, oh, here's another one. This is Miss Lewis Waller and her little girl, Nancy. And that is a horseless carriage. We were looking at that. So, what we gather is that unless somebody knows, you know, goes, oh, no, that's not right here. I got the information. Please share. But we believe that was a steam driven car, and they didn't use tape. It was sewn here. This one center page that's hard to split, and somebody sewed it together with thread. So they didn't use any tape. Miss Lewis Waller at the theater as Zsa Zsa. There she is getting her makeup on. And it says getting ready for stage. And then, isn't this neat? Here's another one, getting ready for stage. And she's on the chair there. That one's really pretty. I love that one. Isn't she gorgeous? Zsa Zsa. Look at that hat. That's all hat. It looks like hair, but those are actually all feathers. All of this is feathers. And then this part here looks like some type of, you know, the hat part, the felt part. And then you've got more feathers coming, and then some type of lace and ribbon put in between it. But all of this is not hair. This is actually some type of feather, very fluffy feather. I don't know if that's peacock or not peacock, but ostrich. But it would appear to be there. So, and then here's another one. And with that skirt. It's great, isn't it? That coat. Look at the costume. So that's kind of fun. It doesn't have a date on it. I'd have to go and look. But this came from Glasgow. And no. Photographers are in London and at Glasgow. So there you go. Obtained at the theater. So any of the photographs of Miss Lewis Waller contained in this souvenir can be obtained at the theater or direct from Messrs. Is that Messrs? Length there. Anyway, that's cool. Okay, keep going. Here is a photograph or a picture of the Great Fire at Broxby Hall. And then you actually find some more information about this Broxby Hall inside here. So this kind of reminds me, I got some information about a church that burnt down, and they had kept different things from there, including a piece of the Bible that had burnt. And so that's kind of interesting. I might have to put those in my fire journal, those kind of ideas. So that's cool. This is 1908, April 1st. It is a supplement to the Grimsby News. Then there was this magazine. I've already taken the staples out. It's kind of crumbly, so, but it is a Band of Hope review, I think. It's March 1876. And it's, you know, it looks like it's in not such good shape, but it's not too bad. But you got Daniel in the Lion's Den there. That's the cover. And then inside, Band of Hope review, yep. And then it's just kind of a, you know, a religious, but look at the pictures. You see them? We got some music. I mean, look at that. Love it. And that actually repeats throughout it. These gorgeous, a soft answer turneth away wrath. Look at that. You can see, I took the, like I said, I did take the staples out. But isn't that gorgeous? And it's the ink goes through it. Look at this. Be not slothful. Look at the little girl with the moth. Aren't those beautiful? Oh my goodness. Let's look some more. I didn't really look through it page by page. Charity. Not sure what it says. Oh, that one's very pretty as well. Makes me think of like Little Boy Blue. Come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow and the cows in the corn. Tribulation worketh patience. I'll just do it every other page. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. But he that is cruel, yeah. Now these, like I said, this is 1875. And so I'm pretty sure I could copy, make a scan of these. I'm not sure how they'd run through my scanner, but I bet if I backed them on something, I probably could. Thou shalt not steal. Love it. Can you see the ghosting? Isn't that neat? Isn't that cool? Love that in there. So this is neat. Honor thy father and thy mother. President Garfield. That's great. Flee also youthful lusts. These are cool. These are really cool. Children, obey your parents. So, may have to see if I can scan these somehow. Because mine's not, maybe it is a scanner at the top. I don't know. I've never used it before. Wait a minute. I do have a scanner. You dummy. I do have a scanner. One that, like, sits over the top and scans it. That's a big picture of the Queen there. She's on page 258. So don't miss her. These are neat. Here we go. Some more. Little girl there with one leg. Small birds. I just want to look at all the pages. Oh my gosh. Look at how cool that is. Rubens, the celebrated painter. Look at the font on this. I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can just lift that one part up. I can show you, yeah. Look at how neat those are. Every page has one of these beautiful thing. I will have to see about scanning this. I think my friends would also enjoy that. Having these to play with. What do you think? Oh, don't. Oh, this one's missing that page there. Somebody must have liked it because it clearly looks like it was cut out of there. How Frank and Charlie carried the beer. A lie is a lie. I like it. Yeah, it would be hard, if you had to choose and cut this up. I think I'm going to try to copy it anyway. If this is boring, I'm really sorry. I think these things are so pretty. Let's see. So cool. I couldn't do this one sitting down though because the board is bigger than my table, and so I'm having to be a bit away, and so I couldn't have my chair there the way I had to set it up because of the big board. Somebody wrote here different lines. I must have read them together. That's kind of cool. Makes me think of Scully. Scully's got some cool readings going on. I'll try to remember to link him in my description if you don't know who Scully is. It's really nice to listen to. If you like having stories read to you and just, calm, relaxing kind of atmosphere. There you go. Look at the bunnies. Oh my goodness. I love that. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. That is rad. Okay, that is just rad. I've not looked through that. There's the back. Oh, I love that with the kitty. Dickens cat purring out putting out the candle. That's fabulous. Okay, so there's that one. And then you can see it's just shedding everywhere. Okay, then there was this magazine, and this is the Cities of Splendid Progress, the Royal Visit to Dundee and Perth. So this would be in Scotland, and I do think I did take out the staples already. I did. And this one comes from 1914, a Royal Visit supplement. And here we go. And so it's got some neat, I love the gentleman. It's got a lot of nice pictures there. Ladies to be presented. So these are what, the single ladies? Are they coming out? Is this their coming out party? I liked this ad right here, the progress of flight. You know, an ad about where they were with, 4 years ago, the flight from London to Manchester, a single journey, was made in 6 hours and 2 minutes, covering 183 miles. But on June 20th, Mr. W.L. Brock completed the double journey, London to Manchester and back, of 322 miles in 4 hours and 42 minutes. Flying time, an average speed of 69 miles an hour. So it's just a moment where you're seeing, flight progress and evolve. Really cool. And then you've got shipbuilding and engineering going on there. Again, the date's 1914. This is July 9th, 1914. Stuff about the Navy, a study in civic psychology, and if you knew that was a thing. Some great ads in there. Some great business history here, so that's kind of fun. And then you get nurseries and more advertisements and stories. Basically the same thing we have in our American magazines, except this one is Scottish. So that's cool. Look at the boots. Look at these shoes. What is going on there? I can't really lift it up. So interesting. So fun. There's your Scott boots. Ladies to presented to their majesties. There's the pageant. I have to look into more about what this kind of stuff is. It's very fun. One of the things that's cool about doing projects like this is you kind of have to, if you have a love for history anyway, you're going to enjoy doing this because every time you find something, I want to know about it. I want to know exactly what's going on there. There's biscuits and cakes. That's neat. So there's that one. I only have a couple more before I'm going to get to the newspapers. I'm going to stop. Well, actually, this one. So this is the cover of the white right here. And so it's detached. And I don't remember. I don't think there was a back to it. So this was the double number of the Illustrated London News, January 26, 1901, the death of the Queen. And so this was 1 shilling by Inland Post. On the other side, you have some neat ads. And then the magazine itself, I've already folded in half. This is the center of this magazine. It's the Queen's Last Drive Beyond the Gates of Osborne, January 15th. And it's just that. It's illustrations, the death of Queen Victoria. So it's just different illustrations celebrating her and her story. And these are the doctors. This is one of the doctors and her attendants during her illness. And there's actually, this is the German Emperor's visit. I'll start at the beginning here. So you've got some information about her illness and some advertisements. And then you start to get to see all the important people. The Queen's doctors, it says there, they really wanted you to know who they were. So there you go. There's her and the King. This is Her Majesty Alexandra, Queen of Great Britain and Ireland and Empress of India. And that's His Majesty Albert Edward, King of Great Britain and Ireland and Emperor of India. Is 1901. And it's just that. It's just pictures. How cool is that, right? That is so neat. Got some pictures. The little sailor kids there. And here are the doctors. The doctors in attendance during Her Majesty's illness. Like, they had huge selfies they took there. So we looked through those. Oh no, we didn't look at the carriage. That's cool. Okay. And it repeats going this direction. More pictures. I'll just go through them. And there you got the royal personages. Look at that. My goodness. So spoiled. So spoiled. I wouldn't like that. That looks like I'd have to sit upright, and I'd have to use the right fork and wear the right hat. That sounds like a lot of work to me. I'm glad I wasn't born a princess. I don't think I would have liked it. I like the choir boys here singing. I think that's a really cool picture there. And look at that swan soap ad. Oh, you can't see it. That just stinks. Look at how cool that is. And then this one's funny. You got the baby smoking and the dad sucking on the bottle. He's absent-minded. He needs some smokes there. And there's some cool watches and chocolate milk chocolate. You know, really neat ads there. Something for your suitcase. That's beautiful. Anyway. So that's that. And then underneath, just so you can see, there's a big stack. There were several. Look at my projects are going everywhere. Some of my clippings from my strawberry bliss. This stack of newspapers here is, you know, pretty nice. And and I unfolded them all, and I've just kind of got them laying here breathing. But they're all around that. This one is more of the Queen's death. And then you get kind of a specialty paper there. This one's a really beautiful one. Can you see it? There, the Daily Mail. And let's see, that's 1902. There's something from 1907. 1910. This one's 1907. Different newspapers. So there's the Daily Express, the Daily Mail. There's the Grimsby News. That's 1897. That newspaper is. There's another one. So they're old. They're really cool though. So you're not going to dig through those, but you see them there. So anyway, that was the package that I'd been waiting forever to get, and it finally got here. I absolutely love it. This goes back on top of here. I'm going to have to start working on it because it's really not safe to leave. So it's going to, you know, just be something that I'll pull out here or there and pull out a page and start working on it. I'm working on the stuff. I will try to scan it. That's another thing that I could do is do scans. So I'll give that a shot. I've done it for some car manuals and some vintage car magazines that are real rare, but I don't know why I can't do it on this. So I'll give it a go. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you thought this stuff was as cool as I did. I love watching. If you have cool stuff, share it. Share it. I love to watch videos of people that have cool stuff. So anyway, all right, I'll see you in a chat or a comment section somewhere. Have a good night.